Hey, what is up, everyone? Back with another video, and today in this video we're going to be learning all about hurricanes. We're going to learn how they form, why they happen, and what you can do to take safety precautions. I mean, I know hurricane season's coming up here in a couple months, so I want to educate everyone about hurricanes. So let's zoom out here, and let me give you a good picture of what these things are like. I'm going to change this color to white so you can see better. So, let's first off go by looking at a hurricane's lifespan. Now, there's many different ways this can take, but this is usually what the most common. So, this area is, this 90% of all hurricanes form here. And this is going to be the MDR, or Main Development Region. Now, this probably goes out a bit longer, but basically this is where storms form off the coast of Africa. Now, they can take many different paths. So, let's go over each path first. First off, they can go just curve out into the ocean. This one can be common and it usually happens sometimes, which is good because it doesn't hit anyone. It doesn't intersect or anything. It just hits the ocean, so maybe fish have problems. I don't know. Yeah, I think the only thing that's affected is fish. But there's another path where sometimes it'll get like really close, but not like exactly. And that usually just brings along like heavy flooding to like these areas over here. It kind of looks like a giant arrow, but it isn't. These, sometimes they'll just go straight and just fly up north and become extratropical cyclones. Somehow they survive up here. I don't know how, but they do. 3, which is most dangerous, is where they'll take this area, which gives them a lot of moisture and a lot of heat and a lot of things they like, and basically squeeze themselves into the Gulf of Mexico. Remember, damaging all the areas that are nearby, then just like either curving and going into like this, which causes devastation. And of course, but sometimes, including this can sometimes curve around and come back. So like this, so it would basically go through the Caribbean, go up through the Gulf, hit the southern and eastern United States, then curve back up into the northeast. Another way they can do is doing this. They can take the same route, but instead hit Florida and then just curve off into the ocean. Yeah, Florida likes to be a lot of target of tornadoes for some reason. I don't know. I guess hurricanes just have an agenda of, against them. Okay. There's also another path that I like to call undestructible mode. Sometimes they'll take a path where they just cross over here and they cross and just hit different parts of the world, or they just hit. I saw one that kind of restrike an area. They kind of call in for 2 strikes. Another way is they go up through here, hit either area off of this area here, that they'll just go inland and become extratropical cyclones. Or sometimes they'll even go this way, which happens very rarely. I don't think South Dakota is going to see a hurricane. That's why I don't think, that's not good. Sometimes they'll do exactly this, where they'll kind of curve really quickly. They'll curve like this. Literally, it's possible for anything to happen. Literally anything can happen. Now it just kind of looks like a bunch of lines drawn everywhere. So that's why, proving my point is that, they can go literally every which way. They can go down here. They can go up here. They can go up here. Literally, they can literally go anywhere they please. But they can fragment. Now, let's talk about how they become tornadoes. So we start out here, right, off the coast of Africa. Yeah, Senegal and Mauritania and those areas. So they start like right here, right? They start in this area. And they basically sort of form up as like thunderstorms. They form up as thunderstorms. So just imagine like strong thunderstorms, right? Then as they soak up all this warm moisture and clouds, they'll like, basically absorb it and get stronger. At this point, they become a tropical depression. I know, sounds sad because of how strong they are. They aren't that strong. They usually have wind speeds of around 20 to 30 miles an hour, or like even as low as 15 miles an hour. They usually cause heavy rain areas, but are basically just a strong thunderstorm. But then things can get a little scary. Then we get tropical storms. Tropical storms are not good. They are not good. Even though some people say it's just a tropical storm. Well, yes, they aren't like exactly. It looks like a bird, but it's. I know it's like a tropical storm, but this can still cause heavy flooding, have winds up to around 68 miles an hour, and basically, yeah, just like around 60 to 70 miles an hour, and can basically cause heavy damage and power line issues and stuff like that. This is like if a severe thunderstorm warning was expanded to like the Dominican Republic. Then, however, this is when we start to get serious. A Category 1 hurricane. So, Cat 1. I know it looks, you can hear me clicking my mouse, is getting annoying. But Cat 1. Category 1 hurricane. Now, these can have wind speeds up to around 96 miles an hour, I believe. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to check. But these things can get pretty powerful. They can even whip roofs off of houses and cause storm surge. That's the big thing, storm surge. Now, this is when we really start to get serious. Category 2. Oh boy, Categories 2. I know it looks like it got way smaller, and it did. But, these things are very powerful. And they can have wind speeds up to around 140 miles an hour. Somewhere around there. 140, 150. Whoa. Like 120, but yeah, like around 120. 120, 130. And these things could cause pretty significant damage to homes. Mobile homes will be walled. Storm surge will be up to around 6 feet and causing heavy flooding over 1 foot. Now, this is when we really run into issues. Category 3. Category 3. These things get at this point, these things get monstrous. With wind speeds around 130 miles an hour, these things are a force to be reckoned with. I know I'm trying to clear things. I'm tired. But these things can literally cause massive issues. And take lives, have storm surge up to 3 feet. Literally throw mobile homes. Now, there's this thing I want to address about hurricanes. What? Is the typical, because there's an eye in the center of a storm. Like around like a giant hurricane, there's like sorry, I tipped my mouse off or something, but basically it's like this. This is wet. Don't worry, guys. The hurricane isn't this big, okay? A hurricane isn't this big. You want to get this big. But at this little center, we have the eye. I know it's super small, but it's called the eye. And it's basically where peaceful weather occurs. But don't let that distract you, because just outside is the oh no's, because this is the strongest part just outside of it. So it'd be like walking outside, then once the eye passes through, you're gonna get completely eliminated. Like, you shouldn't be standing outside at all during these kinds of storms. Category 4. Big boys. Category 4. The second strongest, and with wind speeds around 140 to 150 miles an hour. These things are absolute beasts, causing heavy damage to homes and businesses, and complete destruction of cities are possible. And last but not at all least is Category 5. Category 5. The most strongest hurricane can get. We don't see these very often. What they do, they completely decimate. They have storm surge of to around 18 feet of water with wind accounting for another 3 inches. This is bad as it gets. Now, what can you do to evacuate if you live in a hurricane-prone area? Is the last thing. So this was the last one was chapter 2. Now we're in chapter 3, the final. So what do you do if a hurricane has struck your area? First off, keep note on weather alerts. Make sure to check a phone or get a NOAA weather radio, any type of weather radio, in case if power goes out. 2. If you have time to evacuate, grab all supplies you need and stay at a hotel, stay at relatives, stay somewhere where you're safe and won't be impacted by hurricane. Lastly, if you can't evacuate and miss the evacuation period, bring all, make sure to have all the supplies needed, and make sure your pets are in carriers, especially when you're evacuating, or even just general, so then they won't possibly get hurt or anything. And if you live on the coastal areas, I'd recommend, yes, you need to evacuate. They usually have evacuations like placed by like National Guard and things, well, depending where you live, and they'll basically make sure you can get out safely. So with that being said, make sure to stay safe out there. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.